So ironically, the end of apartheid and the transition to democracy has done more for the economic empowerment of Afrikaners than the broederbond ever did. In Finweek's cover story this week, Bruce Whitfield looks at the Afrikaans individuals who have found immense wealth in the post-apartheid years. Joining us in studio now, we have JP Landman, political analyst and consultant to Nedbank Private Wealth, Christo Owen van der Rheede, CEO at AHI, and of course Thandisizwe and Mark at my side. Very interesting story. How much has this got to do, first of all, with Stellenbosch? Let's just put it on the table, because I'm thinking of getting a spot down there, if this is anything to go by.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's fascinating, because I think what you've done is you've actually discovered it talks a lot to the professional network, very, very simplistically. A lot of these guys have enjoyed symbiotic business relationships. I mean, there have been times when there have been fallout, there have been high-profile fallouts, for instance, the Rupert and Korsbacker circumstances, but they have always enjoyed this network that for over the last 20 years has developed and been able to exchange ideas and have these pockets of wealth that have been able to deploy at opportunities when they did present themselves. And I think you've been able to see what's very fascinating about this is that a lot of this wealth has been created in a single generation between 1994 and 2013, and I mean, this is serious wealth. This isn't just it's not just a little bit of wealth. It is serious wealth creation in a very short period of time.
JP, regularly on the show, I flippantly refer to the Stellenbosch mafia. But how much is there to this network that Mark has just alluded to, and working with one another to leverage one another's better elements?
Look, all the research we have tell us that social capital, or the networks between people, are extremely important in being successful professionally. Whether you're in Stellenbosch or in the Free State or in other parts of the country, if you don't have social capital, you have very little. And social capital is simply the relationships, the trust, people talking to one another. I think, and this applies throughout South Africa, when you're plugged in, you've got a better chance of doing better than people who are not plugged in.
I mean, Chris, maybe that's something I'd like to throw to you. I think as we look at the Afrikaans business community, they do seem to be able to coordinate a lot of their activities very, very well. And we look at a lot of the startup communities in South Africa, which caters to a broader demographic, and they seem to do a lot of little things but not coordinate their efforts. What is it about the Afrikaans community that seem to have been able to coordinate their business efforts and build on the social capital?
I joined the AHI last year. Mm-hmm. AHI has been in operation for 70 years. Amazing history. Today we see the result of 70 years of networking. These guys have learned that there's only one way to create wealth, and that's through economic organization. So every town has a business chamber. That business chamber creates opportunities for the local business people to leverage from each other, but also there's a different type of element that is also very important, and that's their ability to do things for their community and do things on their own. So that spirit of volunteerism is amazing within that community, and something that other communities can learn of.
Well, the Jewish community also gets it right.
Yeah,
sure. I mean, I think there are pockets. You can look at a lot of we've done it on the foreigners that have come into South Africa, and a lot of them, when they do coordinate their efforts, they've been very successful. Whether you're Somalian, Greek, Portuguese, there is this idea of working together as a community and being able to grow their business interests. And I think there's definitely a lesson to be learned there.
JP, Thandisizwe, I'm coming to you in a moment. If you can just add your thoughts on how the Jewish community has managed to leverage their network to the same extent as the Afrikaans community.
And even more so. I have a very, very high regard for what the Jewish community has done in South Africa. They've always been part of South Africa. They've always been part of the bigger community, but they have also at the same time always been a very identifiable group of their own. They've got that mix between on your own and being engaged or involved. I think they got that mix very, very, very right. They're a remarkable example.
Thandisizwe, let's drill down into this article. Before, I would like a question to you, and that is that Johan Rupert leads the pile here by some way at 60 billion rand in terms of estimated wealth. Way above, I think the next up is Christo Visa at about 40 billion. Remarkable. I mean, you tell me what struck you about the article.
I think absolutely. I think, what Mark spoke about in terms of wealth that's been created over one generation. If you look at Johan Rupert, obviously it's years and multi-generations of wealth creation, which makes me think that when we look at this group now, there's a major chance that over the next 10, 20 years we'll see another emerging group, you know, being there, bring their children and grandchildren. So we talk about this network being, you know, getting closed more and more to the people that are only exposed to it now. But again, you know, that for me, you know, that closed a setup is not necessarily only to these types of guys, you know, the white Afrikaners or the Jewish. I think you find it amongst black businessmen as well. And flippantly, I'll say it, you know, there